Hello everyone, this is Mayani Agnihotri and I am making the editorial of Shastra Challenge-2 Contest-A2 and I'll be explaining the solution for problem second, that is average sum 2. So let's have a look at what the problem statement is. Okay, Korosuke loves to play games. So Kitretsu gave him two numbers, L and R, and in return he wants results after applying the operations. The operations are as follows. For every number I in range L and R, Alice has to add all the min and max digit of each number. Korosuke is confused how to solve it and asks for your help. Can you help him out? Okay, so I'll quickly show you what they are trying to convey. Well, you will be given two numbers. As you can see in the sample test case, sample input, it can be like L can be 10, R can be 20. So basically L will be smaller than or equal to R. It cannot be greater than R. That is something we now know now. And minimum value of L and R can be 10 and maximum value of L and R can be 1000. Okay, I'll explain it to you in the paint, but first let's read out everything. So while calculating the answer, the result must be too large after each operation. So after each operation, modulo the result with 10,000. Okay, we'll remember that. I'll be using a 3-digit number. In fact, I'll be using the same numbers that they have given, that is 990 and 993 as L and R. So L is 990 and R is 993. Okay, so starting from L, that is 990, then we'll go to 991, 992, and then 993. Here, we have to make note of the minimum digit and the maximum digit. And then we have to sum it up. And then we have to basically do the sum of minimum and maximum, not all the digits. So in the first case, the minimum is 0. As we can see, the maximum is 9. Here, the minimum is 1, maximum is 9. Here, the minimum is 2 and maximum is 9. Oh, I'll make the 9 a bit clearer. Okay, 3 and then 9. So when you sum up, you get 9, 10, 11, and then 12. And then you would like to sum 9, 10, 11, and 12 to get 42. Am I right? See, that's what they have told us over here. This is our number. So initially, we will define variables, that is minimum and maximum with values. So minimum will have the highest value. So for now, like while writing, we will consider it as int max. Int max is like a big value for integer number. So int max will be stored for minimum and for max, we will have 0. So since we would like to iterate over each digit, that is 8, then 7, then 9, you will modulus it that number by 10 to get 8 as the remainder. This is the remainder. Okay. So when you do that, you get 8 and now you will compare it. Is 8 smaller than int max? Obviously, int max is a very high value number. So you will erase the int max and you will replace it by 8. That is the minimum number we have got. And we will check if 8 is greater than 0. Obviously, 8 is greater than 0. So we'll make 0 as 8. So now for the first step, minimum, maximum, both are the same. Okay. Now we want to go to the next number, that is 7. So how will we do that? Basically, we will divide it by 10. Since this is an integer number, we will not get the decimal value as 97.8. Rather, we will get 97. Right? So after dividing by 10, we get 97 by 97. And then we'll again modulus it by 10 to get the remainder as 7. Again, we will compare. Is 7 smaller than 8? Yes, of course. 7 is smaller than 8. We will check, is 7 greater than the max, that is 8? No, 8 is greater, so we will keep 8 as it is. We will again divide it by 10 to get 9. Now, we will modulus it by 10 to get 9. And here, we will check again. Is 9 smaller than minimum 7? No, 9 isn't smaller, so 7 will remain as it is. We will check for max. Is 9 greater than the existing max value? Yes, 9 is greater than 8. So we will replace it by 9. So at the end, we get 7 and 9 as our minimum and maximum values. So this is how we are going to remove minimum and maximum. So, but you might ask the question, when will it stop? Well, again, you will divide 9 by 10, right? So once you divide 9 by 10, the remainder, sorry, the quotient here will be 0. Basically, the division will give you 0. So when a division with 10 gives you 0, that means you have iterated over each number, that is 8, 7, and 9. So that's when you have to stop for that particular digit. Now, this is not the end of a story. Let's say then you will have to iterate and go to the next number, um, which is 979, right? So then the whole procedure will continue for 979 until you reach the R. That is the last number we have. I think this is pretty much clear. Let's quickly write the code for the question. Okay, so before doing anything, I am showing you that you have to include the header C limits and tell you why. As I told you before that we will be using the value int max. The value for int max is this. Okay, this is a pretty high value for an integer. I think the maximum value, integer value. So let's start by taking the input int test, cin test, then again starting the while loop, while test minus minus. So until test becomes 0, we will iterate for each test case. Okay. Int L comma R. So we will quickly take L and then R. Okay, we have taken R. Now for each test case, you need to print an output, right? So let's say that output is the answer, int answer, which is initially 0. Then at the end, you will be printing it. So I basically have the habit of writing things before. So answer, and there, so that we have a neat gap as expected in the sample output. Okay. So now that you are iterating for each test case, we need to make sure that like we have L and R. So we have to increment after every value, right? I'll show you that. While L is less than equal to R. So we will iterate for every value of L that is less than, or every value that is less than equal to R, starting from L. Okay. So now we need to make sure that we have minimum and maximum for each and every number. So let's make it max D, that is maximum digit, and maximum digit initially will have the minimum value of 0, and at the same time min underscore D will have maximum value, that is int max. The reason I am able to use int max is because I have defined the header as C limits, which is why it will be giving me this value. Okay. Okay. So now we will iterate for each and every digit. See, as we have discussed it before, the time complexity is going to be n square, which is why for every test case, there has to be 2 while or for loop. We are using while. So while Okay, one more thing. We don't want to mess up with the real value of n. So we will make a num and store the value of n. So until num is equal to or till num is not equal to 0, we will continue the process of module and divide as we saw. So int rem. Here we will store the remainder. And as I have shown you that we use modulus for the remainder. So modulus 10, you'll get the remainder. Now you have to check if that remainder is greater than or smaller than the minimum and maximum value. So let's see. If rem is greater than max value, max digit d, max d, then we will simply replace the max d with the current remainder, and same goes for the min. So if rem is smaller than minimum digit, then I will simply do the min digit equals rem. The procedure will go on until the num becomes 0. Okay, but procedure won't go on until we don't divide it by, yeah, we have to divide it. So num divide equals to num divide by 10. As we discussed earlier over here, we were doing the modulus and then dividing it by 10, modulus 10 until we get the 0. So it's pretty important so that you don't miss this step, just in case. Okay. So after the iteration and as you get 0, you have to store the minimum and maximum. So let's quickly add it to the answer. So answer ANS plus equals minimum digit plus max digit. Okay, also as they have already mentioned that we have to do the modulo by 10,000. Where is it? Over here. Yeah. So that the result is not greater than 10,000. So we will make sure that happens after every time we add it. Right? So modulus 10,000. So we can see that for every number, every new number, minimum and maximum are added to get the answer. And at the end, we need to print that answer. Okay, as I can see in my code, there's end. We have to make it as end L because end L is the right word, not N. Also, if you don't want end L, you can use \n. And also, please do not forget to increment L every time because we want to iterate from L up till R. Now let's check if it works. Yeah. So as you can see, the answers match, which means we are good to submit the code, and let's check if it works for all the test cases. Yes, it has passed all the test cases. So, okay, so you have the solution on the screen. Make sure you take the screenshot, note it down and practice. The solution in other languages like C, Java and Python will be provided in the description. Make sure you check them out. Thank you for watching. See you next time.